So I just wanna talk about this thing that's in my brain. It keeps me from wanting to go on, but I want some gain. Maybe a little fame. Yeah, oh yeah.
Everybody, welcome back with the Patriots podcast. It has been a long minute, and when I say a long minute, longer than I ever wanted to take a break, but I'm doing a lot of Danny show. I've been doing a lot
Cheers.
what else have I been doing? Wow, off my thought right now. Been a lot of Diamond Talk over at ITZ, one of my favorite times. So go check me out over there. Go check me out with Danny's show. Been doing a lot of stuff. So we're going to start today. I am your host, Sal Asante. We got Dan. We got Andrew. How we doing, boys?
Doing well.
Chilling.
We're going to get started with a funny story. You asked why I got a new one. So we got a funny little guy over here in my town who's selling stuff. And so it's at a store. It's a regular store, right? Go in, and it was my birthday, and I was like, I want this for my birthday. I got it for that night, right? Oh, you want the live resin? Sure, they're usually good. Got it. The thing leaked like a sieve, so it destroyed my battery. Yeah, so I go back, and I'm like, dude, I was like, I loved that thing. It was great. It was amazing, but one issue. You destroyed my battery. I was like, I'd like another one, and I'd like you to please, can you help me get another battery? Like, help me out a little bit? Yeah, okay, yeah, no problem. Cash or card? I was like, cash, so you can help me out. And then he gives me like $1.50 discount.
Oh, stop.
And that's normally what he gives me every time I give cash. I was like, you motherfucker. I was like, I just gave you an extra $30 for this piece of shit. Just because you broke my other piece of shit.
You come to my gas station and you want that card and then destroy your battery?
Oh my goodness. So that's how that started. Yes, a brand new red shiny one. So hope everybody enjoys it. I wanted to get started talking. I hope Andrew's real hyped and excited to talk about sports that started out.
This is where I retire and just step aside for a second.
That's fine. So,
I step a second and then I do that.
I think, first of all, my more exciting conversations are in baseball, so I want to just knock out our football, dude. What the hell happened in football last time? Because to just clarify, we recorded this already.
Yeah.
And so much shit happened in football, baseball, and just the world that we were like, we're redoing this. We got Andrew hopping on. We're redoing it. So, last time we were talking we got to talk about Damar Hamlin, I think.
Yes.
Right? Damar Hamlin, if nobody saw, got lit up like a Christmas tree, stood back up like nothing happened, and then fell back over like the Christmas tree had gotten lopped down. Mm-hmm. Right? You saw this.
Did you see it?
It was all
I've not seen it, but
it was all over the news.
Yeah, I know what happened.
Right? So that was just absolutely unreal. And so we were, obviously last time was in the middle of it. He was still in the hospital. We were still praying for him. Mm-hmm. Glad to hear that he's back home, I believe.
Yep.
Still in the hospital?
No, he's home.
He made it back home.
Yeah, he's back in Buffalo. He went to the hospital, and then Buffalo medics released him to go home.
So we got some good news there.
Mm-hmm.
Football as a whole, what the issue was and what I had an issue with was how much of a shit show it started. So what happened with the seeding? Because now that we have all of our games in, how much did it affect the seeding over there?
In the AFC, it just depends on the championship game.
Okay.
So, say the Bills and Chiefs make it all the way to championship game in order
to play each other?
Yeah, they play each other.
Okay.
That game will not be at the Chiefs' home because Chiefs are number 1 seed, so they get home field advantage. But because of that, but Bills and Bengals game got canceled. Now they have different scenarios of what happens.
This is where the controversy comes in.
Yeah.
Because, and this is what we were kind of talking about. Do you really stop that game? And this is where I revisit it and I revisit our conversation. Should you really stop that game? I think it's more questionable than people gave it first thought. Mm-hmm. Because the implications that it has going forward are huge. That's a pretty big implication. To not have your home playoff advantage that you pretty rightfully. What did the Chiefs do wrong?
Yeah.
Right? How are they even involved in this shit show? Mm-hmm. So that's kind of my point. Is that I think it has more merit. I think Skip Bayless got ripped up and down for no reason. I thought that was kind of funny though. He's a goofball, man.
Yeah, I know.
So that was it for football. I just wanted to say my Cowboys really, really did a wonderful job ending out the season.
That's crazy.
Really fantastic. Andrew, do you watch any football? Mm-mm. Okay, so we had my wonderful Cowboys, if you don't know, having a pretty good year, man. Pretty good year.
Okay.
All right. We are technically, by the record, we are 1 game behind Philadelphia going into the last game.
All right.
If Philadelphia loses, we win. We actually are the division winner because of tiebreaker.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We go in, and our starting quarterback decides to throw, I believe, 1 interception. They go get a field goal. And then throw them a pick 6 to put them up 10.
Mm-hmm.
And then the game just fumbled from there. Like the whole game. I think it was like 38 to like 10 or something like that. Like,
your final score?
It was ugly.
I think it was 24-6.
It was not good.
Yeah.
For a team that the Cowboys were supposed to win. Like,
yeah, they should have.
This is not like a game, right? That's how we ended our season, and Philly actually ended up winning. And did they even play Jalen Hurts?
Yep.
Okay.
He played.
Okay. So they won a game they should have won. Is really what the Philly did.
Yeah, because
the Cowboys look atrocious going into the playoffs. But we're playing, I believe, Tom Terrific.
You are playing Tom Brady in your first game.
This is a...
And fun
this
fact...
This is nut up or shut up for Dak Prescott.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's definitely...
This is it. Because if he can't beat... Okay, if anybody has not seen the South Park meme, I'm putting it in a clip right here. Andrew's going to help me find a clip of Tom Brady shitting his pants while he's playing quarterback for South Park. And he's like... And he's just filling his trousers. That's where he's at in his career right now. If we can't beat him here, I'm sorry, this guy's got to go. Not only does he have to go, everybody who made that contract happen, I think, needs to be questioned.
So that means Jerry Jones should be in question?
He should be in question 25 years ago. So
yeah, he should have.
So yes. But I'm talking about...
Yeah, it's a make or break for Dallas.
Yeah, I mean, this is bizarre if we don't win this game. So Philly is slated for a bye.
Yeah, Philly got a first round bye.
If the Cowboys had won and Philly had won, would the seeding have been much different, if different at all?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But if you won, we lost, 49ers won.
Oh, I know that. We would have been the one. I know that.
You would have... No, you wouldn't have been the one. 49ers would have been the one.
We would have been the 2.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right. So,
yeah.
Regardless, going in, let me see. What's your pick? Who's taking it?
Obviously, I'm going with the Eagles. I was going to go with my Eagles.
Who's your unbiased pick?
Unbiased?
You know what? Let me make this more fair. Who's your AFC pick?
AFC?
I think that's fair. Who's your AFC pick?
Honestly, I think it's the Bills.
Okay. I was gonna ride with the Bills as well.
I was gonna say Bills or Bengals, but now that I
For the
feel
sake
like
of diversity, I'm gonna go with the Bengals only because I'll rep Joe. I'll rep my boy Joe.
I was gonna say Bengals, but the reason I say Bills is because I feel like they have
They're more put together, dude.
Not even that. I feel like now since that whole situation with DeMar, they have more energy. They have something to fight for.
They got something to fight for. That's true. That's true. I think that's true. I'm still gonna go. I'll go Bengals from the AFC. From the NFC, I'm not even gonna be biased, to be honest. I'm gonna make an educated pick here. I think that going to the bowl. I think going to the bowl, I think we're going to see the 49ers. I think we're going to see the 49ers go to the bowl, and I think we're going to see them lose to Joey Burrow in the Super Bowl. That's my pick.
Okay, my biased pick.
That's pretty bold. I think that's legitimate.
I mean, I think that's legitimate. On being unbiased, I want the Eagles to go, obviously, because I'm an Eagles fan, but like,
okay.
If we lose, I'd rather lose to the 49ers.
You would rather
That's
lose.
the team
okay.
I want to lose to.
Let me ask you, make an educated pick. Who's your Super Bowl winner? Educated pick.
49ers.
49ers take it over the Bills?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We will see what happens, my friend.
The reason I say that is because, hey, you can't ruin a Brock Purdy story. That's why.
I like that.
I feel like Brock Purdy's I feel like Brock Purdy's like, yeah, he has his fight for starting string for 49ers.
All right. So, let's go to my sport. Let's talk some baseball. We had some really good stuff coming out. Really good stuff. So, I want to start off first. I think we missed a pretty big trade last time. We did cover this. And all mishap. So, I like this trade. We had Dalton Varsho who's going over to the Blue Jays, who now I'm not really too happy that I need to see. Probably, 30 games a year?
Yeah.
20 games a year? This is ridiculous. So they got him, and they sent over Moreno, the catcher prospect, who's I think that was a big sell. And then they sent over someone else.
Gurriel.
Lourdes Gurriel. Which, why did Diamondbacks even take that? To me, I don't know. But the Moreno trade for them, I like that.
Because you said last time with Beer, Beer was playing first.
That is true.
So they want to put him back in the outfield.
That is true. No, but I'm thinking in general, they have so many outfielders.
Yeah.
No. Why did you get Gurriel back? Like, what are you doing? Like, what is Gurriel doing for you? To be honest, I think he's
just
very
filling
expendable.
Position.
I think he's very expendable.
Yeah.
Because I don't know.
I feel like he's going to fill position for them right now. I love
that trade for Arizona, though, for Moreno.
Uh-huh.
I think that was a fantastic move for them. Toronto had to get rid of a catcher. Why they got rid of that one?
Don't know.
Couldn't answer.
Who is the catcher? Kirk?
So they have, Kirk is like kind of, but I think they have Jansen, right? Don't they have Danny Jansen?
Yeah.
Isn't that their guy?
I think so.
I'm pretty sure that's their guy. Help me out. You know something.
I know.
You got to know something. All right.
I set out this part of the conversation. This is for y'all.
All right. I'm trying to think. So.
What's up? Before we continue with baseball, did you hear about Derek Carr? That just rang my head.
Derek Carr. I want to hear something.
He's getting traded.
He is?
He is. He's done with the Raiders. He's going to get traded.
Okay.
He said his goodbye to Instagram and everything. He said, "Thank you, Raider Nation, for everything you've done."
Is it like official, or they don't know, or what's up?
So they're gonna trade him, but if they don't find a trade before February 14th or 15th, they're gonna release him.
Out of respect to him, or does he just suck?
I don't know. I feel like I don't know.
They're just separating ways.
Yeah, I think after this, it's just like
it's been so long.
But that opens the door for.
You should go on a beer run, bro.
It is not my house.
But I feel like that opens the door for what could have been a scenario before Brady went to the Buccaneers.
That's very true.
I feel because I feel like did you ever see that episode of Barbershop, whatever I think it was, that show LeBron runs?
No.
Tom Brady said, like, when he heard the news, he was like, "You sticking with that motherfucker?"
Oh, I saw that clip. Though.
I think it was Dana White who said it was a done deal with Rob Gronkowski and Tom Brady going to the Raiders. So now I feel like Tom Brady after this year might go to the Raiders.
Ew, dude, he's so old. Okay.
Crazy, right?
I just want to like.
All right, go back to baseball.
I want to not with football. Right
I found that funny.
Oh my god, that's so funny. Okay.
And Tom Coughlin kept his 500 record.
Did he?
Yeah, they finished the season 9-8.
Not Tom Coughlin.
No, Mike Tomlin. He has not had a losing season yet.
Dude, Mike Tomlin is the GOAT.
Go to coaching
on this podcast. So. Back to
baseball.
Had a couple things with baseball, honestly. But the one thing I did want to hit, and I'm putting a clip right now. So.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
What does that mean? Like
the Mets are very frustrated with Carlos Correa talks, contemplating walking away.
Mm-hmm.
That was 9 hours ago. And I saw something else, but I don't know if it's on. Oh, here it is. Carlos Correa's camp is in contact with at least one other team besides the Mets for the first time in 2 weeks. I wonder who that team is.
Twins.
It might be Twins.
He's going to the Twins for a 4-year or 5-year deal.
Probably.
That's where he's going.
Because they want him back.
Yeah. So, to be honest with you on this one, this is just so funny because Steve Cohen's an idiot, and so he's going to get in trouble with the league probably. Clip. Yep, clip. And if we didn't say it, I'm laughing at myself right now. So
we definitely said it. We definitely said it.
Carlos Correa to the Twins.
Called it.
I mean, it was funny that so many people were talking about it, but I feel like it was legitimate. Like the whole time, I feel like they were just in the back. They were like, "Hey, just so you know, any of these deals fall through, bring it back our way, baby." They go 200. They go 200 over 6. So it gets like an average AAV of like 33 or something like that.
I believe so. I can double check
He's
for you right
looking
now.
good, and I don't know. It's just a good move. I was happy. I talked to a guy who's a Mets fan yesterday. He said he didn't really give a shit. So if I was a Mets fan, I would honestly kind of be happy in a way. Like, what a waste of money that would be.
Yeah.
What do you think, Andrew? $300 million for a bamboo ankle shortstop.
Correa?
Yeah. Would you ever?
No.
What do you think about 6 years for 200 though?
Yeah, that's what it was.
Probably a little
I
more
think that's
reasonable. Yeah,
Reasonable
that's a
for
little more
him.
reasonable. And that's those were my exact thoughts when I saw the deal.
Right.
Oh, sorry.
See, you can pitch in. You're a baseball guy.
See?
Yeah, baseball.
right?
Yeah, that's what we're talking.
So-
We're talking baseball.
So,
All right, work.
I know we were in baseball. We're in this. So, what was the? I feel like we had just one more decently sized deal. Oh no, we had some actually big news. So first of all,
We have like
I got some Red Sox shit.
we have 1, 2.
I'm sorry for all my Red Sox fans because
We
pray
have
for
3.
y'all. Y'all got rid of Xander Bogaerts. You also got rid of Mookie Betts about 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're talking about what's happening now. So you finally re-signed someone. You re-signed Devers for what? 11 years? Was it? 11 years? Like
11 years, 3,
Then
31 mil.
Immediately after, where you're like, yeah, I guess we'll slide Story over. Everything's going to be all fine and dandy. Trevor Story's out for the year, pretty much.
Is he?
Yeah.
With what?
He's getting surgery on his elbow. So,
Ooh.
Red Sox fans, I'm sorry. And A-Rod, I'm sorry, bro. But
Down
you guys
year.
suck, bro.
This year you suck.
You guys suck. And you got a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do. And I'm happy to say this as a Yankee fan. You guys suck.
We actually have a
You guys
lot of
actually
news in baseball.
Suck.
There's a lot
Keep
that
it
came.
rolling, bro. What else we got? Tell me some.
But the thing I seen the other day, Gregory Soto
What do we got?
to the Phillies.
Gregory Soto, man. To the Phillies?
I did see that too.
I like that. I like that move. I like that move.
And they only got rid of Matt Verling and Nick
Yeah.
Maton
And the thing
and
is,
a
for
catcher.
Detroit, like, what else are you going to do? Your team sucks.
Yeah.
Your team's not going to be good anytime soon. Might as well get rid of the guys and see if maybe a few guys pan out. I don't know. Like, what does it matter? Your team sucks, bro. You need some help. I think we had...
Trevor Bauer.
Trying to think. Trevor Bauer. He didn't get signed, though.
We forgot about that. No,
No,
he got
so-
released.
We talked about it. It's
No,
just,
that's the problem. So we already talked about it. I thought it was the other time.
but we
So,
didn't. We didn't.
What happened, I
Yeah.
think we should clarify. So, Trevor Bauer actually got reinstated. So, what happened was he won his appeal.
Mm-hmm.
He was reinstated for the 2023 season with a caveat.
Mhm.
He'll have the first 50 or 60 games will be docked of pay, but he can still play, which I got wrong. He can still play the
Okay.
50 games. Okay. So, with that, the Dodgers had a decision to make last week. So, starting Monday, decision was made, I believe, on Friday. Starting
Mhm.
Monday, they had until Thursday to either keep him on the team or DFA him. And come Thursday, they DFA him.
DFA.
At this point, we have nothing. No rumors, no nothing. So I assume he's going to be
They officially released him a couple of days
straight
ago.
up released.
Yeah,
so it's
January
already been
6th.
straight up released. Any news on talks? I haven't really been keeping up on it.
I haven't heard anything.
My thoughts is he's probably going to be like a Marlins guy. He's probably going to go maybe Houston, maybe.
I could see St. Louis, a good team, but a
St.
small
Louis
city.
honestly could use him.
Mm-hmm.
St. Louis could
And
probably
it's
use
a
him
good
pretty
fit.
well, and they'll straighten him out.
Yep.
Um,
I don't even think there's anything wrong with. Are you talking about personally or like on the mound?
No, I mean, just in the fact of him as a teammate. I mean, he's always had that knock to him as a teammate that like nobody really wants.
No
to
one
be
really
around
wants
him because
around him.
he's such a
Yeah.
grinder and
Mhm.
such like a pain in the ass
And a
to deal with.
nerd.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. So because of that, he gets that aspect. I
Yeah.
think the Cardinals system, because they are nerds themselves, I think
I think
they
they'd
would
love
work
it.
well.
They'd
I
love
think
it.
they'd really work well, and I think that would work. So I'm interested to see where he would go. We predicted Correa. I really liked that. We had the Yankees got their left fielder. I think we talked about. We got our
Mhm,
guy
Ortega.
Rafael Ortega. So I don't know if you heard about this.
Didn't hear about that.
We got two minor league signings of outfielders. One of which I like much more than the other. So we had Rafael Ortega coming from the Cubs, who's decent lift guy, hits decent balls from the left hand side, and plus outfielder. He's a center fielder, left fielder.
Nice.
Which means we move him to the left, he's probably solid. we also got Willie Calhoun, which I couldn't get two shits about.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't get two shits about. I feel like we got someone else too. We got Tommy Canley. I don't know if we got to talk about that.
I saw that too. He's coming
we got
back.
Tommy Big Pants. We got Tommy Big Pants. Yep. So we got
That dude did
coming.
have a fat ass.
Yeah, it's massive. What else we have? League wide, we got anything fun?
Joe Pollock to the Mariners.
Pollock went to the Mariners. Yep, that's true. True.
Stephen Vogt, I think he's a bench coach for the Mariners now too, or a bullpen coach.
Bullpen coach.
So that's gonna be sick.
Okay.
And Matt Holliday actually resigned as the bench coach for the Cardinals.
Did he?
Yes, he did. He was supposed to. Yeah, he was supposed to be the Cardinals bench coach coming up this year. For whatever reason, no mas. They got to hire someone else. So that's kind of a blow to morale already before spring training even starts.
Was he the bench coach this year, or was he slated to be?
He was going to be. He had the position and then he resigned from it. So I'm not quite sure.
Maybe it was just like he couldn't feasibly make it work.
That's what I'm. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But I don't know. There could be something deeper to it.
I'll be honest. It's probably not a morale killer if he never even had the job and he just resigned it. Like,
well, no, because Matt Holliday is like a big.
He is
a big Cardinals name.
I totally agree.
Huge Cardinal. So like that anticipation and having that let down now.
I don't think it's that big of a deal.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be as big a deal, especially coming off the year you guys had.
Yeah, no, I mean it's definitely a good year, but like when you anticipate,
need some chalkers though, bro.
When you anticipate having one of your veteran organizational players as your bench coach, and then a month before spring training resign, it's just. I don't know. It could be no big deal. And if people know it's no big deal, then it's like not personal.
Right. It's true.
If there was a falling out between someone, then that would definitely.
That is true. So, what else we got? So, ready? Let's get it back going. So, after that rude interruption, let's get back to it. So, I think we had AJ Pollock.
We're refilled.
Yep.
We're refilled, by the way. AJ Pollock. He went over to the Mariners. I kind of like that for them. Not gonna lie. So they got Teoscar now. They have him as well.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. All right. On to the next. What else we got?
Johnny Cueto to Marlins. I mean,
interesting.
I did see that.
Interesting because with that they also shelled out. Who'd they get rid of for? So they shelled out Miguel Rojas.
Mm-hmm. To the Dodgers.
Oh, yeah.
Dodgers.
Good for him. Getting out of Miami.
That was awesome. Who do we got? Who'd they get back?
I don't know if they got anything back. In exchange for shortstop prospect Jacob Amaya.
Oh, I like him. Okay.
Amaya. Who is...
Not gonna lie, I kind of like that trade for the Marlins. Who the fuck are the Marlins gonna play at shortstop? That's going to be a problem. That's just going to be a problem. Okay. Well, next.
Nelson Cruz to the Padres.
Why?
On a one-year deal.
Need to answer that.
I don't fucking know.
Okay.
He's like the ageless wonder. What do you mean?
No, but I know. But like, what is he going to do for that team realistically? Like, how does he start?
DH.
Very much.
Yeah.
DH.
Too much. Yeah. They have a lot of hitters over there. So
I mean,
just another bat.
I see it. Yeah, literally, just as like another bench bat, or just a chance for him to finally get a ring in his career.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was going to say ring.
That's what I was thinking. Because, dude, if Nelson Cruz doesn't get a ring, man.
That is true.
That catch in Texas and St. Louis, when he was on Texas and St. Louis, Game 6, 2011, that's going to haunt him forever.
Yeah.
And I'm sure glad it does as a Cardinals fan.
All right. I want to move on to some not so great news before we finish it out. So we had Liam Hendricks, unfortunately. He came down. What was specific?
We can end it with great news.
I know. That's why I want to end it with that. What did he have officially?
Non-Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So, obviously, from ours to him, prayers out to him.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like we've had a lot of active players getting sick lately. I'm not talking like sick COVID. I'm talking sick like ill sick, cancer, very strange disease. A lot of like David Wright had the back shit.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah,
Like,
it
weird
was like
stuff.
scoliosis or something.
No, but it wasn't skull. It was like
It was
really
something else.
progressed.
Yeah,
like it
it
was
was.
something that does not come up. So like, there's a lot of weird shit
Yeah,
to me
there is.
trending happening, and I'm finding it very strange in sports. But yeah, prayers out to him. We had of course we had Mancini from the Orioles. The same.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had cancer in
also had
2020, right?
cancer. Yeah, I mean it's just really strange. So, move on. Some happier news. Did we have one more move, or was it just the last? What else do we have?
Andrew McCutcheon back home.
Yeah, the Pirates.
that
Yeah,
That's all I
Yeah.
got. Yeah, that's all I got. That's the last one I got.
Honestly, that's like one of my favorite moves, dude.
that's
And
cool.
and the thing is, though, I hope that he's a presence for that team, because when you think back to the last time that Andrew McCutcheon was on the Pirates, you actually think back to a Pirates team that contended.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they were in the wild card in 2015.
You guys watch John Boy?
Sometimes.
John Boy, get your boy on the show. Let's go. So
Who?
my ass. You
Oh.
should have my ass. Fucking guy. So, anyways, I'm watching them, and where the fuck was I going? So they do baseball reference guess. So they try to guess who it is based off of their page. Pretty cool thing, right? And guess who came back up in that thing? Try to think. McCutcheon era of the Pirates, first baseman, third baseman, stud. Try to think. Who do we got? This would be when you were actually watching baseball too. So try to think.
Josh Bell.
Right? You would think no, not yet.
What team was he on?
Not yet.
Was he on the
Left-handed
Pirates?
hitter.
Was he on the
Went
Pirates?
to the Orioles.
Oh,
Went to the Orioles, and his career was
retarded.
gone.
Chris
Done.
Davis.
No,
Fuck.
No,
I
I thought that was
know
it. I was
this.
confident.
that's the thing because you know exactly what I'm
I
talking
know
about.
exactly who you're fucking talking about. Went to the Orioles.
name.
Took a shit.
The name, dude.
Wait, he went
Yeah,
to
Josh-
the. Wait,
Josh
what
Bell
team
didn't
was
go to
his
the
first
Orioles.
team?
The Pirates.
The
right?
Pirates. Then went to the Orioles.
He was an almost MVP.
Fuck.
He led the league with 33 home runs, I believe. We're running out of video soon too, Paul. Everybody. Is it gone already?
Yeah.
All right.
Whatever.
Audio only. Love y'all.
Do you have another? Don't you have another battery down there?
Yeah, it's definitely dead.
Is it worth a shot to try it?
It's worth a shot, but I know that it's one of them doesn't really catch charge. That was my issue.
That's weird.
Well, if you plugged it in,
You should send it back to GoPro.
Huh?
Send it back to GoPro.
I can do that.
They'll replace it.
Yeah, I could do that.
Because it's like $20 for like they're not
Yeah,
cheap.
they're not cheap.
So
Yeah, they're not cheap. But yeah, so try to guess this motherfucker.
let's try and guess who first and third baseman you said.
Right, first and third baseman. He should have been a first baseman the whole time. They really wanted him to be a third baseman because obviously he'd be more productive.
Third baseman,
You want a
first
hint?
baseman. Yes.
I'll give you initials. P.A.
PA.
Not Pete Alonso.
I know.
That's the first thought.
I
that
know,
came to
but
my
I
mind.
knew
was
that
like,
wasn't
there's
him.
no
That was
chance.
too. That was too
you have to
early.
think this guy
So
played
started
like
his career with-
2010, 2011,
Started his
2012.
career with the Pirates.
Right.
First and third baseman, primarily third baseman. Went over to the Orioles.
Swung the bat from the left side, but
And-
obviously threw righty because he played third base.
Third base and first base. Well, third base, yeah, as a righty. So, what team did he finish his career with?
Baltimore.
Just Baltimore?
What the fuck?
That's how bad it went.
Really?
And he really didn't do that bad. They just treated him. Obviously, they
Pirates,
put him as
Yeah,
well.
the Orioles have a reputation of doing that.
Mhm.
I would not want to play for the Baltimore Orioles.
Nope. Not even in a million years.
Nice stadium, but no.
Same with like the Los
One
Angeles.
of my favorite
Yeah.
stadiums.
Same with the Angels. I would not want to play for the Angels.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Cole Stadium. Would not want to go.
Even I don't even know about the stadium. I just would not want to play for the Los Angeles
Okay,
Angels.
cool.
They have
It's
such
the
a
Rocks and
terrible
shit.
reputation.
Cool.
It is
For
cool,
like
but,
treating their players, yeah.
but they have such a and developing their players.
Mhm.
They just have no philosophy. They treat their players like absolute shit.
Oh yeah.
And actually, some other news I saw too regarding baseball was, I'm not 100% sure if it's true, but in terms of the minor leagues, I saw that teams have to start to provide housing now for minor leaguers.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes. And I like that.
I love that.
I like that because the
love
pay
it.
is so absurdly low that it's actually like it's borderline inhumane.
Yeah, I don't know how minor leaguers did it
You're always working another job. That's the thing.
constantly.
And if your
I'll have
parents
to be
like,
a
if
full-time
you don't
baseball
have
player.
parents that can help you out, you're most likely not going.
No chance. So,
or if you didn't have a big signing bonus.
And some people say, "Oh, it's just a rite of passage. Only the ones who really want to be there, are gonna do it." No, that's a little bullshit.
That's not true.
Because there's circumstantial things that
there's so much circumstantial.
You could have a great player that could end up making the MLB who just circumstantially cannot afford to be a minor league baseball player, making
can't
like
afford it.
$800 a month.
Family shit going on, bro. What if you have too much shit pulling you away from the game?
What if you have a kid?
If you have a kid, like, what are you gonna do?
Forget it.
What are you gonna do? Be a kid and be a minor leaguer? Like that's unless you have a fully committed stay-at-home mom who somehow is also rich.
Yeah,
that was rich. And right, like sugar that's mama. It. That's it. So, but anyway, you guys didn't guess my player.
No, who is it?
PA.
Number?
I can even give you the last name, and I'm confident you won't get the first name.
What's the last?
Do you want it?
I do.
Alvarez.
Pedro.
Got it.
Right now. I know my Pedros.
So, Pedro Alvarez. Remember that guy?
Yeah.
He had a hitch in his swing, batted lefty.
I was gonna
smoke balls into the fucking bay.
It's funny you say that, because I was literally gonna ask, is he Hispanic? Because I remember the Pirates having a Hispanic third baseman.
I was gonna say that, but I thought that was too much of a giveaway.
You know the video of like a ball in Pittsburgh? Like, I forget who the hitter was, but the hitter hits it and like cues it, and the cover literally came off of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
That's Pedro Alvarez. That's immediately the video.
You're right.
That's immediately the video I thought of
because I'm watching the video in my head right now.
An old third baseman, and he's like picking up. He's like,
what
and just tries to throw it.
It doesn't go anywhere.
And it just like, just fucking hilarious. What the?
Oh my god, that's so good.
That's hilarious.
Oh, that's like that's.
See, I
know
so
my
funny
baseball. I'm watching it. See,
I know
that's
my
why
baseball.
I said you can be involved in this conversation.
I can be.
See, it's just the football stuff that I know you got to be out of it. But,
exactly.
So that's really all we got for baseball, man. Hey, and you know what? I will say I'm very glad to hear that you may possibly think about playing again. I'm very
glad to hear that, man. Very tentative.
Very, very.
I'm glad to be in the position where I could potentially be well enough to do that. I don't know why I'm looking at the if you're listening to the audio right now, I'm looking at the camera as if it's still recording.
All right.
That's obviously a mistake.
I want to take a quick break. I want to see if we can get this camera back online. If not, we will be audio only, and we're going to be diving into some other shit. We're back going. We're live.
Lock me up.
Probably got 5 more minutes of video.
Let's do it.
Before this overheats again. Let's get it. We were on to non-sports.
Were we?
I'm ready to talk non-sports.
Oh, that's right.
You ready to talk non-sports?
Potentially. Let's see.
What do you want to talk about?
I don't know.
Oh, center stage. What do you got?
All right.
You got anything for me? You sent me some funny videos.
I've been sending him some fucking heat. Let me tell you.
So, hold on. We just been sending funny videos back and forth. But the one thing that like really bothered me today was because we had the one that mentioned, of course, the people just falling down. I don't know where.
Hashtag sudden death.
Just eating shit.
Hashtag suddenly died.
Very weird, man.
Especially among
I didn't like that
athletes.
I didn't like that it mentioned it among the one with Damar Hamlin, just because I think that one was weird. Because I do think that the way that he acted was way more like his heart stopped. Because I don't think it was any concussion. I don't think it was anything.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it was anything even remotely coming close to what I think we're going to be talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, as we get into this, I want to put a fair warning out that none of us are medical experts and none of us know anything of what the fuck we're talking about, really.
And none of us know for sure if this is true. We're just conveying and disseminating certain ideas that we have heard.
Right.
And putting them out there to see what other people think about them.
Right. And the reason that I didn't want to put Damar Hamlin in this is because in the first post he sent me, I believe it was the first slide. It's him, and then it showed the rest of them. But the rest of them were very different.
Yes,
so,
very different.
In sports, we've been seeing, and this isn't just this year, it's actually been going on since 2021. So since they rolled out. Right? So ever since sports has been getting back and everybody's been vaccinated, we've been seeing a very, very high number of just totally healthy athletes just collapsing on the field.
A demographic that you think should have the peak cardiovascular capability of any population.
More strangely, I think you noticed this as well, tends even higher in something like soccer. which are even higher
You have
cardiovascular athletes. They are superior.
More conditioned athletes.
Right. And I'm sure you've noticed this as well. A lot of it's been happening in Europe. A lot of it's been happening. I think a lot of it's been happening in like the Asia area as well, where most of the what the fuck do they call the China vaccine? I forget what they call it. It has a name, like their special vaccine that doesn't really do anything. You know what I'm talking about? Piss water, whatever that one.
The Shanghai Pointy.
Right. So we'll go with that one. The Shanghai Shanty. So regardless, we've been seeing this massive uptick in this, but it's also been just regular people. And the video that you sent me today that was disturbing was like the news anchors. I don't know why that was. I don't know if that's like a high demographic or it's just because they're getting videoed so much. That's probably more the reason. They're getting videoed so much that it's happening there. Getting caught.
Yeah,
potentially. But my what I noticed as well, even though there was a few that were outliers, a lot of them seemed like older as well.
They did.
Right. So that worried me. Right. So that tends to me doesn't even really like throw off the signals of like vaccine. That throws off the signals of like something else is tripping their brains up, like they're just collapsing.
Yeah. And
we're not paying attention to whatever it might be. But with the younger people, that's where I get more concerned that it's something that we've actually introduced as a society, whether it be vaccines, the phones, the screen time, any of the shit that you compile. That would be more my concern with the younger people. I want to hear your input on it.
Well, if it doesn't happen with younger people, and by the way, it has been happening with younger people, there's actually
it really has been. I'm not trying to say it hasn't been.
Yeah.
Just to clarify that. Did not mean to say it's not happening with younger people. The videos of the news anchors was tending towards older people.
And also videos of older athletes.
Is that true?
Yes.
Okay.
From my perspective, yes. It seems like I've seen videos of just more older people in general, even among the demographic of athletes, more older, like, later 20s, early 30s, collapsing. And this is just pure speculation, right, from seeing soccer players collapse. But I know there's been at least one or two college basketball players that have #suddenly collapsed. And there was recently a high school basketball player in New Jersey, not too far from here, that collapsed during a game.
You know what town?
Hillsborough.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was going to say it, but Hillsborough.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So Hillsborough High School, I don't know what year he was, but he was a basketball player, and he #suddenly collapsed during the game. Yep.
No shit.
Yep.
Any follow-up?
Not that I've heard yet.
Okay.
Last I heard, he was in the hospital in stable condition.
Okay.
Getting better, but it still makes you kind of question.
Yeah, no.
Because a 17-year-old athlete doesn't just...
Yeah,
I saw a video today, actually, on YouTube, right before I came here, actually. I was clicking through some shorter videos, and in Illinois, I believe it was, there was a 17-year-old choir kid. He was in choir, and he was like singing gospel or something like that. And in the middle of the song, he #collapsed in front of everybody, in front of his own family.
Nice. Yeah.
He collapsed in front of everybody too.
Yeah, I don't know if it's I mean, from what I've seen, of course, you're looking at like memes, because when you actually try to go and research this information, it's just stuffed down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
But have the numbers actually increased? You know what I mean? Like, because of course the memes are serious.
And for full disclosure, I personally don't know.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I don't know the answer to this.
Is it just something being thrown out there by right wingers who want to paint the right way?
The pages, right?
Paint the vaccine as like being so toxic and terrible for you.
That's my question.
We don't know. Is it now just are these deaths that are occurring at a normal rate as they have been in the past? If that's consistent, are now people just like cherry picking some of the data and the outlier cases and saying, oh, well, this is what's happening from the vaccine?
Right.
So we don't know that.
Right, we don't know that. But that's kind of really my question, though, because I'm curious, we've really had phones around to take videos all the time for, past 10 years. So, you'd think, if we had a lot of random collapses, there would be video of it pre-COVID.
Well, it could just be
right
promoted by creative
wingers.
now.
That's my point.
Yeah, because there's really no reason to share it in the past. Now, say
Right.
like right wingers
Right.
have a reason to share that video.
Right. So that's my point. And I'd be very curious to know if it actually has been an uptick or if it's really just consistent. It's where we're at.
And if there is an uptick, then that we know for sure that tells us something.
That tells us something. Whether it's vaccine or not is another question, but that at least tells
It
us
is
something.
another question, but it tells us that there's something now different between these years and these years of cardiovascular health in everybody, but especially
or just general
athletes,
health.
there's a big
Really
difference.
general health.
Well, we know obesity is a problem, but this doesn't seem to be correlated with that because a lot of these, like we were saying, are athletes. And besides a sumo
That's
wrestler,
who I'm more concerned about.
Besides a sumo wrestler, I don't know many obese athletes.
Yeah, but well, I mean, there's certain athletes that would lead to it, or at least allow it. But
like what?
Sumo wrestler is an extreme example.
Well, yeah.
But sure, there are football players. There's plenty that would be considered obese that they're probably not. They're probably in decent shape, but they're 380 pounds.
They're huge.
They're 360
Well, they're
pounds.
6'7".
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, in reality, they're on track for health problems.
Yeah,
Right?
when they
Just-
retire and everything.
Right.
And
Exactly.
all
My
the way
point.
on.
Right.
Yeah.
So it just goes hand in hand. My curiosity really stems from the young people. I want to know more about what's going on with that. And I want to know. I hope that solid, concrete research comes out about this. Seeing young people get affected by this, why we made it necessary to participate in our school system that we're already making necessary to pay into and participate into. I think it's very detrimental to go steamrolling ahead without really reviewing all of our options.
I agree. I wholeheartedly agree with
I
that.
don't know, man. I don't know. Like Dan, you wouldn't be able to be in school right now if you did.
I feel bad.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's you'd have to be taking Zoom classes. So
Well, I even heard
Or
some
even-
colleges were
not
making
allowing
you-
them to do that.
Or even just going to a different college because I wasn't vaccinated.
So
That's honestly, I would have done that. I legitimately 100% would have done that.
right.
So I was lucky my school didn't require it.
Right. And this is, it's very strange that we become to a point like that in the country. I mean, I feel like that could stem to a lot of conversations.
Yeah.
Don't really know if you had anywhere you wanted to go with it. What else you can send me? Send me some goofy stuff. I think we should talk about the absolute failure that just happened with the Republicans, because especially since I'm not leaning any which way anymore.
That's your guys' conversation.
No.
I was gonna say first it was my turn to lean back. Now it's your turn to lean.
No, but I actually thought this would be pretty engaging though, because what just happened, I think, just turned the whole country off of politics. The whole charade that just went off.
It was necessary.
Very necessary from a conservative point of view. Very necessary.
From a conservative / libertarian point of view / non-deep state point of view.
What it just did to everybody else's conception of the right, I believe, is...
Or what you would expect to be like the Republican Party.
Exactly.
Everybody gets along. Everybody's married. We all hold hands and sing Kumbaya.
No, but it's not even that. It's the outside image to someone who might be a prospective voter for our
Yeah, well, an independent.
That just
and
got
the Democrats
heavily-
can use it, of course, to
Right.
try and
And that's kind of where I was going with that.
paint against us and sway the...
With the way that our country's been tending, where it's been very, very, very tending very left, with this happening, I think that that's going to be something we're looking at going into the future. I think we're going to look back on this. This whole kind of, I guess, last 6 months of how badly it looks like the Republicans had a good hand and just folded it over.
Well, there's a difference between the illusion of it and...
What actually happened?
Well,
because the
illusion of it is part of what actually happened, but there's a lot that led up to this illusion. Like, if you go back to 2017 into 2018 into the midterms, right?
Right.
From January 21st, 2017 to a point maybe a year and a half later at the 2018 midterms, from that point, when Donald Trump was first sworn in 2017, Republicans had control of the presidency, the Senate, and the House of Representatives. They failed to repeal Obamacare. They utterly failed to implement many other conservative policies that Republican voters and conservatives and libertarians, more specifically, wanted to see put into place, right? They wanted to see the bureaucracy slashed in half. They wanted to see the IRS regulated. And something that I think is interesting that a lot of people don't talk about is that in 2016, Ted Cruz actually ran on one of his principles that he explicitly ran on was he wanted to abolish the IRS. He straight up said abolish the IRS.
If I'm not mistaken, that was
it.
his big term limit year too. That's what he was pushing on.
Yes.
So he was a very different animal.
Yes.
Very different animal to what he is now.
Well,
in my opinion, I think he
I
still
don't think
holds.
it's radically that different.
I think he still holds a lot of opinions morally. I think he just has some qualms with some things he said earlier in his career. If that makes sense.
I don't even think what he said earlier in his career is actually particularly
relevant
anymore because
not
I think he's
relevant.
actually become.
I think he's going just back on his own circles.
One of the most important voices in the Republican Party.
Without a doubt.
And not even within the Republican Party, within the Republican Party that you want to be associated with.
Well, the thing
the
is,
conservative, the libertarian.
With him, it's consistent.
Yes.
Which I'm at least happy with. The only thing
like if today he were to run again, I believe he would want to abolish the IRS, especially after it doubled in size. And I know for a fact Ted Cruz has an issue with the fact that it doubled in size.
My thing with Ted Cruz is the way that he was hammering that term limit thing was that my wish for him would be he'd stop running after he hit his term limit. And then he started only running for president or coming down into a different running for whatever governor of his state. You know what I mean? Like that's where I wish to have saw him because I wish he actually held true to his value, if that makes sense to you. And that's the only thing because I thought that was still is one of the most important things. Like, Dan, tell me this, honestly speaking, because you're totally outside voice here. Do you actually ever plan on voting? Do you vote?
Yeah, I plan on
Okay, you plan on it. Okay. Would you rather vote for someone that's coming in with decently fresh ideas, maybe they've been around for a few years, or would you rather be voting for someone who's been around for 35, 40 years and they've had the same seat every single year?
It depends on what they accomplish though in that seat.
Yeah.
It does. That being said,
Fresh
what would
new
you
ideas
normally do?
could mean
right.
a lot. You could have AOC, toilet paper ideas.
No, I totally agree.
Fresh new.
You're talking the same party though. Would really be my point, right?
Oh.
So you're talking as who your voter would be. Do you want
So closer to policy.
if you are your person and you're voting for consistently your block every single time, do you want that same person to be able to win the same seat 32 times in a row until they die?
No.
Because I don't think that that's something that the country wants.
Why not?
I don't think that that's... I just don't, and I'm not saying the term limit should be 2, but I am saying there should be a limit, right? Because at some point, I think that it's become like a formality. Not just for...
You just vote for the person just because.
Not just for the person who's in office, but for the voters, right? Where it's like, well, whoever's voting for him is like, yes, he's been good, or he did this, or whatever, and we have this to stand on. But the person who's against him is like, well, he's won the last 7 times. What's the point of me going to vote? And it continues. You know what I mean? That's what that would be preventing. And that would only be it. Like you limit it to...
Yeah, and then when you have no incumbent in like a fresh new election, you do tend to get a higher turnout.
Right.
But we do have a built-in term limit in our Constitution, and that's every 2 years in the House of Representatives and every 6 years in the Senate. You can theoretically lose that seat every
that's correct.
2 or 6 years, respectively.
That's absolutely correct.
I think it falls back down onto the parties to actually run one better candidates at the Republican Party, and 2, really get your message out there and try to motivate people to vote.
Right. So, but my point of really bringing this up is because although I think it affects both sides a lot. You're looking at most of the people who tend to stay in that same spot forever. Towards the end, especially, they seem like they're tending to hurt like the country a lot more. They seem to be the ones fighting right now. They seem to be the
Nancy
ones
Pelosi, Chuck
Nancy
Schumer,
Pelosi,
Mitch
Chuck
McConnell.
Schumer, Mitch McConnell. Those are the three people I wanted to bring up. Right? So you bring those three people up, and that's what I'm saying. Like, if you think back to the problems consistently for the past 10 years, you don't even have to really think about Trump, Biden, or Obama. Those three have been always in the conversation since well beyond even 2012.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Mitch McConnell's been in the Senate since, what, the 90s?
This is my point.
Yeah.
This is my point.
I agree. But
that's the only reason, really.
And right? I just
because
I have no
issue with them transferring to a different office and winning that.
But
you know that, like, I don't have any issue with that. So I hope that's not a deal breaker for you.
But I just heard this thought, or I just had this thought rather. I'm kind of cross, so my speech is kind of slurred.
More than okay.
And I forgot what my thought was. We'll just skip forward because I'm the one who fucking edits this shit, so I'm just gonna cut this part out. Yeah, that's great. So, but you never have, say, like a politician with like a major role, right? Like a House Whip, Minority Leader, Majority Leader, Speaker, who's from a district or state that is a swing district or swing state.
No, never.
Almost never.
No.
Nancy Pelosi's from San Francisco. That's never going to be won by a Republican regardless.
But we all know
Chuck Schumer's from New York. That is very unlikely. His seat is very unlikely to be won by a Republican. And Mitch McConnell in Kentucky is obviously very unlikely to be won by a Democrat.
Shown that it's possible. He has shown that it's possible.
How so?
He's become probably the closest to lose anything.
Oh, well, yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Well,
that's it.
Again, Kentucky is New York's an at-large, with Chuck Schumer, that's an at-large election as well. And there are a lot of Republicans in New York, and upstate New York is very conservative.
Right.
But, like, contrastingly, in Kentucky, Louisville and Frankfort, primarily, they're big Democrat hubs.
I know.
So they offset a lot of the vote against Mitch McConnell.
But you know the reason why they do that. It's obvious. What if they put their speaker in a swing state?
Yeah.
What if they put
their speaker? And then it makes your party look bad.
Make you look stupid.
Yep.
Make you look like an idiot. That's why they do it.
Exactly.
That's obvious.
Exactly.
The tough thing going forward is, like, I don't think conservatives have a good place. I don't think they have a strong base. And I think that we're heading into a very, very singular-minded time in America. And I think that I just hope everybody continues to refresh their minds with new ideas.
And
that was my whole point with
to that point, I'm starting to become less and less Republican than ever before. I'm not saying that because I'm becoming more and more Democrat. I'm becoming
very much
much less Democrat, especially fiscally, as we move forward here. But with how close Republicans are to becoming Democrats in terms of how much establishment there is.
Right. You're not actually a Republican. You're just a conservative, or you're in the middle. You're
a quote, an air quote, conservative who doesn't question the status quo, which I do think is very important.
Right.
And that's where progressives, I do think, actually have a point to be made, is that you progress by questioning things, but what progressives do is they just change things to change them, and it doesn't make sense.
Right.
They don't use common sense.
Right. If they use their questions and actually listen to the answers and use the answers properly instead of just continuing with their agenda.
Yes.
Right. Exactly. But then you would have a conservative progressive, which would be very weird.
But no, because I've actually had this debate in my head, because it is possible.
It is possible.
Because when you have a progressive conservative can exist when you have policies in a society that's taken so far damn left that it's like seen as like normal and standard in society, and you're like, these are not traditional conservative values.
Totally fine being a thinker and a progressive.
So you're progressing forward, because you can't go backwards. You're progressing forward to conservative values.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
I don't know what I think that deserves a different name.
Progressive conservative.
But I feel like it already I feel
that's
like it is something.
Name.
But I feel like it is something already. I just don't know the name. Do you know what I mean?
No, I think it is technically a progressive conservative.
Is that what it would be?
Yeah.
Well,
Unless you want to go back to like Democrat.
No, but that's what I would consider myself because that's the way that I would hope that I would be.
The point I was making with this is that the Libertarian Party is making a stronger case now more than ever.
Yes, it is, but I still don't want to vote for him.
Not yet. I agree.
I don't even know if it's a not yet. You don't want to really think about possibly defending yourself or your allies. It's tough to think about. That's a really hard change in our.
Well, that's not necessarily a libertarian point of view in all cases.
Not necessarily. That is true.
But
a lot of the way that we operate would change.
True. But
if we adopted it.
Is change bad?
No, not at all. Not at all. And I would actually be okay with the change. The problem is
more than okay.
The problem is what happens with everybody else.
And I'm not talking about libertarian in terms of we have to pave our own roads and we have to put our own fires out. No. The libertarian point of view does make room for, and I'll say legitimate, a very legitimate role of government.
Right.
Because it does have a very legitimate role.
You can't not have it with 300 million people.
As Thomas Paine said in his pamphlet Common Sense, government is a necessary evil.
I agree.
It is needed. It is needed there to be there to set those very, very wide boundaries, right? Pave the roads. Devise a military. Have foreign relations with other countries.
Right.
You have government property. You have firefighters, police officers, and of course you have the federal government as well. But you're not giving hundreds of billions of dollars to overseas countries just because.
Exactly.
And this is where I question what you said about defending our allies or ourselves. There's no question at all that when we are attacked, we should defend ourselves.
Right.
But why would we go offensive for some of the things we've gone offensive for?
I agree. No, it's our. And when you're talking about what the reaction by our current leaders would be.
No, the current leaders. I agree.
The problem would be
it's a transition that would have to occur, but it can't happen overnight.
No,
totally.
No, definitely.
But I think that it needs to start at some point.
What I think the end goal is that I think it's something more like that.
Yeah. No, that's what I was getting at. I wasn't saying it was going to happen overnight.
Right.
It's going to be a decades-long transition.
Slog, man.
Decades, if not centuries-long transition. But I think libertarian values are conservative values.
Well, they are, but I feel like they're more actually thought through. I feel like they're just.
It's not. And the thing I like about it is that, like with questioning authority, generally conservatives, right? Like, don't ever question authority, right? You do
generally speaking, yes.
Generally speaking, yes. Libertarians actually question. They ask why.
Valuable
think things through.
Yes.
Not, I'm just going to do this just because I lick your boots because you have a uniform or a badge on, or just because you're in a position of authority. No, they question things, and that's something personally for me. That's a very important value.
All I could say on that is that I hope that that's where we tend. Because the alternative, to me, seems very, very single-minded, although it has the facade of seeming like you're open-minded.
What is libertarianism?
No. Progressive.
Liberalism. Oh, absolutely. Pseudo-intellectuals are synonymous with liberalism and leftism and
right. My point exactly.
Yeah, you're right.
My point exactly. That's it. That was all my point on that.
No,
I think that it's a conversation that we need to continue to have because it's not going to get right if we just shut up.
And like even with academia, right? Academia is so far left, like it's not even funny.
It's hard.
It's so skewed to the left that
it's hard.
They label anything even like centrist as
right
wing and radical, right?
Yes, that's true. And it's hard to take seriously.
So how can you take academia seriously if academia is full of these pseudo intellectuals, which we've associated with as
it's very
leftists.
Weird. It's very weird how I don't know. I don't know how they plan on continually reaping on it because they go so far.
I don't know either.
Have you had to take a history or an English class this year?
No.
What about the
I think I might have to though.
Oh, for the
I gotta
spring?
check. I'm not 100% sure, but
What
I haven't taken
about what about last year? See, like after COVID, I feel like things are very strange,
Yeah, I agree.
and I wanted to get a perspective. You've been in classes.
Yes, I have.
Even with where you went, were things not taught from a objective point of view?
So, no, but not for the reason you're thinking. And I had one professor who was very questioning and very objective. And she was actually very conservative, coincidentally. So, to the first point of whether or not it was objective, like in terms of politically, I went to a Christian school, and it's everything you would have possibly imagined, right? Generally speaking, most of the student population there was right wing, and I can't think of a single professor that really screamed, "I'm a leftist," right? Everyone seemed pretty,
Okay.
even in terms of the professors, seemed very conservative and very, at least moderate, centrist, at the very least. No one screamed, "I'm a leftist liberal," that I personally saw.
Okay.
Granted, yes, I am from New Jersey. We are filming this currently in the state of New Jersey, but I did not go to school in the state of New Jersey.
Right.
Because if I did, and I did for my first 2 years of school, many professors screamed, "I'm okay."
Right, but I feel like that's inevitable in New Jersey. That was kind of my point.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying, is that New Jersey is obviously a very liberal state. My professors here screamed, "I'm a leftist," almost all of them. I went to school in the, how do I classify the state? Southern Midwest, where is genuinely one of the most conservative states in the country. No, I think it is the most conservative state.
Probably. So
So,
I guess that gives a good barometer, yeah.
so yes. So one, I'm sure there was some leftism there, but it was not as, it really wasn't as prevalent, and it wasn't as piercing as it would have been at, say, like a state university in New Jersey or like Harvard or something like that.
Right.
It was not anywhere near as leftist as that. Number two, I did say it was a Christian school. They gave more, like, they gave more like Bible verses and related like the Bible, they skewed everything towards like the Bible more than they did any sort of political party.
I find that almost even harder to like really consistently pay attention to.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
What was your experience with that?
It
Because I know you don't really tend religious in the first place, so.
No, I'm actually, I always was, and I'm becoming very, I don't want to say very, but I'm really getting into it again, and I'm taking an interest in it
I'm
again.
glad to hear that. My point was, you didn't go out of your way to seek it.
Yeah, I never
And
really
then when
did.
they forced it on you, I would assume
When they forced it on me, it made it worse.
push you away. That was my
Oh,
assumption.
and I think I even had this conversation on the phone with him one night where I said, I've never believed in religion less
Yes,
than
we did have this conversation.
being here right now.
Right.
He was in New Jersey. I was in this state 2,000 miles away. There's no way that anything else exists.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be a Christian school, and this
Right.
is how I feel. This is the position I'm
It
in.
goes to show.
It goes to show.
Fuck.
When you have it forced on you, when you have to go to
Right.
church 3 times a week, when you have to have Bible verses like at the beginning of your assignments.
Right.
People I knew were like, well, what the hell is this?
I'ma make all these bitches say, damn, I wish I were the fucking state. I wanna be something, not nothing. Trapped inside my dream and I'm running away from these demons. But the feeling's so good, I'ma keep dreaming.